everyone, and welcome to Planting Seeds. I'm Cicely, and today we're going to plant some more seeds. I have with me some sweet corn. This is a hybrid. It's white and yellow, and I have some cucumbers.
Cucumba.
Okay, you may be thinking it's a little late to start corn, or anything really, but here in Zone 9B, we don't have frost until about November 10th, if we have any frost at all. So at time of filming, we have just enough time to bring the corn to harvest before it gets cold. So I'm going to start seeds in these seedling trays, and I'm following the Mittleiter method, and that is on page 198 of the Mittleiter Gardening course book. Okay, this is the first step in starting a Mittleiter garden. So what I've already done here is I've already sterilized the soil. I have put it in the oven at 250 degrees for 45 minutes. I have already mixed up the soil and mixed some pre-plant mix in there. And I've moistened the soil just a little bit. You know, if you have super dry soil, you try and water it that first time, and the water just runs right off. So moistening it just a tiny bit helps the additional water just soak right in. Let's take a look. Okay, so the first thing to notice here is that this is not a standard sized Mittleiter seedling tray. The standard size is 18 by 18 inches, and we do not yet have space for those dimensions. So let's start by taking this clipboard and making some furrows. Let's get that stick out of there. There we go. What should we plant first? Our cucumbers
Cucumba.
or our corn? Let's start with the corn. I have an open packet right here. That's not much, but I have another unopened packet as well. So I'm just going to plant as much corn as I possibly can and worry about finding room for it later. I do have some space in grow boxes out in the yard, grow boxes that came with the property, which happen to be the correct dimensions for a Mittleiter garden, which is 18 inches by however long you want to make it, up to 30 feet. So we can put some corn there. If I get desperate, I can just go to Walmart and get some bags and fill those up with custom soil. I could probably fit four corn plants in there for each one. I can also give these away. You know, I want to plant way more than I actually need because I'm not sure if it's all going to germinate. But frankly, it probably will all germinate. So I'm going to be in a little bit of a pickle with how many plants I have. So I'm going to have to pot some of them and kind of force them on people. You know, we live in a neighborhood of mixed housing types. So we've got some single family homes like we live in, we've got some apartments, And we've got some duplexes. I actually used to live in a duplex right around the corner. So it was pretty easy to move to this location. But lots of people have at least a little bit of room to grow a garden. And they might just need a little encouragement, like some free plants. Even the apartment buildings have some sunny space in front of their front doors. But yeah, my goal here is to have so much that I can't give it away fast enough. And it's a really great opportunity to get to know your neighbors as well. Since I did used to live around the corner, I know the neighbors on one side already. But I don't know my neighbors in the apartments next door. And I think it's I find it a little bit awkward to just knock on somebody's door and introduce yourself. Like, they might think you're trying to sell them something and not necessarily be happy to open the door. But I think if I bring them something, that will make them happy to see me and will be more likely to make friends. All right, that fills this one up. I'm going to reserve the other one for the cucumbers, so we can save the rest of these corn kernels for next time. Pickling cucumbers.
Cucumba.
Hopefully they're good to eat on their own. Not that I'm opposed to pickling them, but I also just like to munch on cucumbers. And I have thought about where to put these. I do believe I have space for 14 plants, if I measured correctly. So hopefully this will be another thing that I just can't give away fast enough. Just produce tons and tons of cucumbers. You know, it's important to get to know your neighbors. If there's a natural disaster or something like that, or a power outage, we have those sometimes. We call them public safety power shutoffs when there's high risk of fire. So that happens occasionally. And when you get into a state of potential deprivation, like your refrigerator's not on, you're about to lose all your food, it can be really easy to slip into a state of being suspicious of the people around you. Like they might take something from you. But if you know the people around you, then you've established some trust. So you don't have that feeling of insecurity during a time when there's plenty to feel insecure about already. So having fresh food that you can share that you can just pick right out of your garden is a great way to alleviate that community stress. It's also good for personal emergencies or medical emergencies. Ambulances are expensive. It's great to be able to call one of your neighbors. You know, they could save your life. They could be providing the first aid for you. So it's nice to have their number. And one final thing is, at risk of sounding too simplistic, it's just nice to know your neighbors. It's just nice to be able to walk out of your door and say, oh, hey, Stuart, how's it going? Know that a person's there. But gardening is a great opportunity to start those relationships. When you share a close space with someone, you're only really as rich as they are. Desperate people do desperate things. And the only way to prevent that is to make them feel less desperate. So when we can grow pounds and pounds and possibly even tons of food, tons, I don't know. We're going to put that to the test. But colloquially, if we grow a ton of food on a tiny piece of land, we're in a great position to alleviate desperation in the community. There we go, that's all we can fit. Nope, dropped an extra one. All right, let's cover these up and water them in. Real gentle. They don't have to be super deep. 2 to 3 times the thickness of the seed is all you need, and that's the width of the seed, the short edge. Yes, very nice. Bless you. My cat just sneezed. That poor baby has chronic inflammation in her nose, so she sneezes all the time. There we go, there's one. I forgot to cover up the corn when we put it in. Right, these plants should work for us through the rest of the summer and early fall. And then after that, we're just gonna go straight into cool season planting. Because why not? Let's take these outside and get them watered. Here we go. I've watered in one so you can see what they both look like, and you can watch me water in the second one. I've got these seedling trays covered in cheesecloth, and that just protects the soil from any erosion that might happen due to the watering. This is just an aluminum, or not an aluminum, steel can with holes in the bottom. Nailed in. Makes the perfect watering can. We'll leave these outside to drain for a while, and then we'll bring them back inside. Here we go, folks. We've got these set up underneath the grow lights, but for now I'm going to keep the lights off and the cheesecloth on until we get some sprouting, which will hopefully happen soon. Thanks for joining us today.